And then what we did is a different approach. It's more time-consuming, becoming standard right now. Is called CRISPR screens, in which you kill or you knock out genes in many genes at once, hundreds and thousands, and you identify which genes, when removed, if you will make it more sensitive to FAK inhibitors. And when we did this combination, this is again synthetic lethality is the approach. And with this combination, we identified many genes that make it more susceptible to die the cells if you use FAK inhibitors. And the vast majority of them fit into the MEK-ERK pathway. So this is how we ended up working with molecules, basically, and then using drugs. When they block MEK or the MEK-ERK pathway, which is a typical one activated by in cutaneous melanoma, just to give you a sense. So this is the BRAF-MEK-ERK is the primary target usually for cutaneous melanoma. There are many drugs that can be used. And so then it was very easy to see that if you combine one with another, the activity is synergistic. So I call it synergism is 1 + 1 = 11. So using a joke. But that is the concept. So you have a little bit of one, a little bit of the other. When combined, it's much more active. And so that is what we presented. So from these CRISPR screens for synthetic lethal interactions, we identify this drug-drug combination as a very good candidate. And this is what was presented. So we use cell lines derived from uveal melanoma patients. Very exciting. We also use cell lines derived in emerging collections. So these are very new reagents, so cell lines from metastatic melanoma, uveal melanoma patients. That is really very exciting with alterations in PAP1. I was referring to as the major driver of metastasis. Still the driver, the oncogene that drives the cancer is GNQ. But so even in the PAP1 mutants, they were very, so the combination was very active. And what's exciting, if you combine FAK inhibitors alone has some activity in the tumors in animal models is primarily cytostatic, so the tumor don't grow, a little bit of death, but mostly cytostatic. MEK inhibitors are also cytostatic, although you see a little bit of cell death, but it's basically you maintain the volume. If you combine the two, then you really see tumor shrinkage. So in concomitant with the cell death, so the death of the cancer cells primarily, because this will be the only one that will be responding to. And then we develop animal models that are for metastatic disease. So it's a little bit more complicated. You need to use different approaches, but they develop a big metastatic lesions in the liver, and using the combination was extremely active. Working very closely with our collaborators in Jefferson University in Philadelphia. So we developed a concept. So Takami Sato is the physician. So he's a medical oncologist. This is a large part. I mean, I cannot give you the numbers, but it's a large fraction of all metastatic uveal melanoma patients in the US. He sees a large fraction of them. And so we developed a clinical trial, a concept of a clinical trial. We developed in Verastem, review it and gave our green light, so to speak. And so now we are working with Verastem closely to develop the clinical trial. So that's where we are. An additional issue I think is important is that there are already many MEK inhibitors. So the initial for the study, we used traditional MEK inhibitors that are already FDA approved. We're very fortunate because this is call it the second generation inhibitors. They are much more active and prolonged activity with similar toxicity. So that's the advantage. It's not that more active and more toxic. And so Verastem is developing one of them. So it's a perfect combination in the sense that we are using a second generation MEK RAF inhibitors is more active, combined with a very active FAK inhibitor, both of them developed by Verastem. So I have to be, for full disclosure, I don't have any Silvio, I don't have any financial interest into our organization into this process. It's really what we view as one example of a perfect combination that we can try. So the goal will be to develop a clinical trial based on that.